Folks, welcome back to Rimshots with Sean, brought to you by Barstools and Bandtalk. I'm with Stacie Lynn. So this new single, I heard it last week. Well, I heard it before he released it, and I was just like, okay, wow, vastly different from the first one. But the message, the lyrics, the whole, it's kind of like, this is me. You like me, great. You don't, the heck with you, fine with me. That's really the message in a sense, is it not?
Yeah, pretty much. So it's inspired by myself. Now I write music either because it's something I've gone through or because of something that I've seen, something that's relatable in general. Mirrors is my entire life. Being bullied since primary and even after high school, bullied. And it's just my size, my height. But during the whole time, although it was extremely hard and I cried myself to sleep many, many nights, um, I never felt the need to change who I was to please anybody else. And that is the end message of Mirrors. Um, you know, every girl or woman or child, like young female, young adults, they just compare themselves to other females because they don't look the same. They don't have the same eyelashes. They don't have the same clothes. They don't have the same body type. They don't have the same hair. And then they try to change who they are to fit the stigma of what beauty's made to make you think it is. And at the end of the day, you don't have to do that. I don't have to be like anybody else. I am who I am, and they should be who they are. And you shouldn't have to change who you are to fit in with beauty, because everybody is beautiful in their own way. And that is what Mirrors is about.
You know what? What a great message, because a lot of people don't know this about me, but I too was bullied when I was younger. And then, about grade eight, I became an athlete and became a little bit popular, but they created a monster because what ended up happening is I got too confident. And that was probably, set me back a few years because it was just like, couldn't take feedback about anything. I know everything. And then I settled into who I am today. And some people love me, some people hate me, but hey, I'm me, right? But that message really, and it's funny, I had a conversation. I've got a 20-year-old daughter. And, I happen to think she's beautiful, but she has those same conversations with her friends all the time. It's the compare game. It's the everything on the internet. Everybody's life is amazing, and you don't really know the whole story. You only get what's out there in front of you.
Mm-hmm. The way that the media makes it seem, the way that the internet makes it seem, the way that you see everything, like as society goes on and having the big lips and getting Botox injections and literally changing features about yourself just to fit in with the stigma of what beauty is classified. You look on magazines and you see these like toothpick sized women, which, don't get me wrong, those women are beautiful too. I don't judge anybody, but I certainly will not change who I am to fit that stigma, to fit on a magazine cover, because I'm not interested in doing that to be that person. I'm interested in being Stacie Lynn.
I love it. And, and again, it's, there's so much pressure. And I think what happens is people, they see somebody and that person appears to be having all kinds of success. And, there's just they call it news cycle, where somebody just seems to be in the news for whatever reason all the time and all the time. And it's almost like a lotto winner that's never had money before. And then they get all this money and then everybody thinks their life's amazing and it turns into a disaster. There's the bad side of that too, that people don't get to see. And so, I've always thought, you're sitting there pining for this thing that's probably going to mentally crush you. Why? Like, why don't you just accept where you're at? And I struggle with it too. There's no question. Do you find that, the last while it's helped you, you've got past that even more than you had in the last couple of years?
100%.
Yeah.
I think that, well, to be honest, I don't think that I've changed much about myself in a long time. I have never, aside, I did get my eyelashes done, but I have short eyelashes, so I like to have them long. That's the only thing I changed about my own self. But
oh, really, just for men, dark brown, Stacie. So there you go. I let one of my secrets out of the bag too. So
I did add the extra lashes because I don't do makeup. I don't do lipstick. I don't do the mascara. I don't do foundation. I just am who I am with my long lashes. So I enjoy being who I am. I love when people compliment me. They compliment me all the time. They point out my height. Now, some people use the word big, which is not like I'll see a little child walk, mommy, she's big. And it's like, I totally understand where she's coming from. Sometimes those words, I'm used to it now. Sometimes those words will um, hit a little different when you use the word big versus tall. But I get tons of compliments. My heavens, you are so beautiful. You are so tall. And I'll point out my flaws to those people,
Yep.
and then they'll be, no. They're like, you just stand taller than everybody else. And those compliments are what really keep me going. I am learning to love everything about me and my height. I am learning to love that I stand above everybody else. And to be honest, it can be intimidating as a woman. So I'll take it, you know?
Yeah, no question. And again, back to my daughter. I mean, my daughter's the height of me, and she went through a phase in high school where, I can't date that guy because I'm taller than him, or I can't. And so I get it. I'm not a basketball power forward. I'm about 5'10", right? But I've never been one to see a tall guy and go like, oh my God, he's so tall, and I'm so. But I do get how some people feel inferior. They shouldn't, but they feel inferior because the whole room looks at that huge person, or that whole room looks at that pretty person. But there you are. You're tall. I would say powerful, because you've come a long way with some of the stuff. And now you're finding your way in all these other things where you're helping people kind of get through some of the stuff that you had a hard time navigating. That's got to be a pretty good feeling.
Oh, it makes my heart so happy. Just in the last, what is today? Wednesday?
It
I
is.
released a song on Monday, and I cannot tell you how many people have reached out. They've had this song on repeat, or their daughter is sitting having the song on repeat. They're playing it. By tonight, my daughter's going to know every single word to that song. I felt that way when I was younger. And just the comments that I'm getting and the people that can relate to the song is so heartwarming. And as a songwriter and a singer, that's all I want in life, honestly. I'm not looking to be this crazy famous, although it would be fantastic. I'm not looking for fame. I'm looking for songs to be released that people connect to, because to me as a singer and a songwriter, that's the most important thing. Is if you can write a song that can touch the hearts of other people, then mission accomplished with that song.
Amen.
So that is what I enjoy about music, is that when I release something and other people can connect to it and everyone starts talking about it, that's what makes my heart so happy.
So I'll throw something out to you. Yesterday I was kind of gearing up to do this, and I was listening to the tune again, and I sent it to my buddy Paul Hollingsworth, who Paul's with CTV. I've known Paul for years through hockey. He's a very dear friend, and I'll read you what I said to him, and we'll see what happens. And it's pretty short. It's pretty sweet, but I said, your entertainment girl is Katie. Yes. You should tell her to get on this girl's new song. She totally dropped the ball with Michelle Ryder last year. She needs to get on this, is what I said. Now, I haven't got a response. That's back to my CIOE was amazing. Everywhere in the province was amazing. We had, when we put this song out, it was played all over the place. We could not get arrested on the mainstream media. And so what I am trying to do here, and hopefully, somebody doesn't come back and go, Sean, blah, blah, blah. But it's like, come on, give us a break. Like, why do you have to be part of that old school, Halifax music scene? Why can't somebody new break in? So we'll see what happens. But I mean, you need advocates. You need people who have connections, maybe good or bad or whatever. Are you getting some of those now?
Well, I've been personally reaching out to people because you don't know until you try.
Right.
So I reached out to Halifax Presents, and I just asked if I could do like a segment with them in a sense of releasing my new single, and they were on board. So that was phenomenal. And that really just in the last day, because they released it on Tuesday morning. That has, I think, 50 shares, and I know the post that I shared has like almost 200 likes. So that's another way. And branch out your message. I reached out to a couple radio stations, and a couple of them have responded back that they don't do local segments, so they can't, jump on that wagon. And
Yeah.
that's all I'm going to keep doing, is just keep trying. And it, with music, what is you just being in the right place at the right time is how that works. But in a sense of like getting your name out there, it's the community. It's the community sharing your post and sharing your name, and check out this girl and check out that girl, which, by the way, thank you so much for doing that text message. That's amazing. You heard a song and you think, give this girl a listen. So like those type of things is what's going to really keep your name going. And then also continuing to release more songs as the year goes on, because that keeps people hooked. So
So here's the thing, Stacie, and your songs are great. But when I saw you at that competition, you could be out there doing polka music. I'd still support you because you did two things to me that are very important. One, you overcame a fear. And then two, you came roaring back even stronger and didn't give a rat's you know what about whatever anybody thought. And those are two things for me that go a long way because, again, nobody can motivate you better than you. Nobody can support you better than you. And it doesn't really matter at the end of the day what somebody thinks, right? You just have to get up there and do what you want to do. If they like it, great. If they don't, hey, that's fine too.
No, exactly. And I'm not even going to lie to you. I am inspired my own self by Michelle Ryder. I feel like we were brought together for a reason, and that's you encouraging me to walk over and chat with her. Our relationship is phenomenal, and I really am inspired to continue to keep going because of her. I included her in that article that I wrote of her being an influence as to why I'm jumping back into music, because she told me straight up, I see something in you that I saw in myself back when I was your age. And that is literally so powerful. Because she does really well for herself with the band. And I went and saw her live, and I personally, she has a powerful voice, and I see myself in her too. So I love that we had that connection at a Sackville Idol, and I love that. I'm excited to see what the future has for maybe both of us together too.
I was going to say, as you're saying that, I'm going, collab, because that could happen easy enough. Because though I've always, you see, blah, blah, blah featuring or blah, blah, blah. But I think that sometimes there's not enough cool collaborations. And I think that that could be a very cool collaboration because you have, two women that I don't want to say square peg round hole, but they're not fitting that normal box that, everybody thinks it should be. Yet two women that are super powerful vocalists, super powerful songwriters. And I think that would be very inspirational for some people.
Oh, I do too. I thought about it. I keep the wheels are turning in my head.
That would be
Even just,
awesome.
I would love it so much.
And the other thing too is that with social media, and I've been joking around about this for I don't know months. It's like you can do an interview or you can do something, and you go, man, that's cool, and it gets like 150 views, and then some dude feeds like a bunch of raccoons on his back deck, and it gets like 80 million views, and you go like, you don't know what's what, but then you start to think, and this is just it's an opinion a friend of mine has. People look at this stuff because, maybe things aren't going so great in their life and it touches them in a certain way. So it's like, that's why they gravitate to what I would call, the silliness or the whatever. What's your thoughts on that? Because it is it's tough, this whole game. I mean, we do some cool things and we go like, why did only 5 people watch that and 4 of them were my friends? You know what I mean? Like,
Yes, I 100% know exactly what you mean. I have a TikTok account, and TikTok is hit or miss. You can post something and it'll get max 30 views, or you can post something and you can get, a million. Like I've posted tons of me singing and maximum 500 views, maximum. And then I've posted a video of my crawfish in my fish tank and received almost a million views. So I totally understand. And it's kind of hit or miss with social media. And I don't rely my whole career on social media. You can't. You have to branch out yourself. The social media definitely helps with sharing things. And I feel like with mirrors, it's definitely different. It's different than other songs that I've released before. And even to the day, like it's all, I know it's only 2 days later. Well, we're on Wednesday now, but they're still sharing it. I'm waking up to so many new notifications that this is being shared and that's being commented on and this is being shared. I'm like, keep sharing it, keep going, because that kind of stuff really helps. So
There's a thing in life. I mean, it works in sales, it works in anything, but it's called momentum. And it's very hard to get. Once you get it, it's really neat what happens, right? Because it just seems like, you know, you're pushing the rock up the hill, and all of a sudden you get down the other side, it's just rolling like crazy. It's very hard when you stop momentum to get it back again. So, what are your plans to keep this momentum going?
so I made a goal for myself that I want to branch out. Um, I I have all the things I need to be able to go downtown and busk. Just sing on the side, just to like branch out the name, because all people. Did you guys hear that girl? Holy, her voice is good. Or even just one person taking a video of me singing and posting it on their own social media. So I want to do that. I made that a goal this year, whether it's I go downtown Halifax or I go to the Bedford Boardwalk, because that's also very busy. Um, uh, I want to do that. And then I also made a goal to release like 5 to 10 songs this year. So Mirrors is number one for 2023. And I'm currently working on something else, which I hope will be just as good. And I just staying steady to be able to see what happens this year. No goals by any means, like to go anywhere or do anything, but I'm just going to keep trying.
So, and here's what you're going to find, I think, because I saw it firsthand with Miss Ryder, and we were playing the Halifax Ale House, and she gets off the stage and she's sworn by girls. And one of the waitresses said to me, her exact line was, "Oh my God, she's finally here." And what it was they're not used to seeing females in that setting, but when they see somebody that doesn't fit the norm, that's mighty, that's powerful, that's talented, it gets eaten up. And I firmly believe you're going to be in the same space. Last question for you, my dear. I hate to say my dear, it makes me sound like I'm old, but I'm not that old. How do my folks find you? Where do they get your song? Where are we going to find more about the awesome Stacie Lynn?
So I have a YouTube, and everything is the same for everything I have. It's Stacie Lynn, except the I in Stacie is two I's, so STACIELYNN. So you can search me on YouTube. YouTube also releases my new singles on there. You can check me out on TikTok. I post some things on there. I also have an Instagram account. I have a Facebook, and all it's Stacie Lynn Music. So if you just search Stacie Lynn, just make sure it's STACIE, because a lot of people put EY. Um, you'll be able to find me, no problem.
Well, keep being you, dude. And we're going to see you soon when you get back.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Peace.
Bye.